everyone. This is Introduction to Indian Clubs presented by myself, Denzel Allen, and it will be featuring Deviate Fitness and Phil Scarito in the pictures. So today I'll be covering benefits of Indian clubs, why I use them, and then also we'll go over a little bit of the outside in pattern, which is one of the basics to club swinging. So we'll start off with the why Indian clubs. So Indian clubs have a couple of benefits to them, of which they're listed on the screen. So mindfulness, relaxation, and having some body awareness. So I first got into Indian clubs mainly through the pathway of kettlebells and barbells. I love doing tension stuff, so lifting heavy weights, swinging heavy bells, things like that, and especially pull-ups and overhead movements. And what I would find is that my shoulders would be tight from day to day. Maybe my strength wasn't there from rep to rep, and Indian clubs are a great way to help make sure my shoulders remain healthy. I keep the same range of motion in my shoulders from day to day. And then also it helps me to just overall relax, which is always nice. So for a lot of other people who are sitting at a desk all the time, it's a really good tool for helping to find your true and proper posture. So we'll start off with, how do you hold onto the club? So the club has a nice little bulb on the end of it. So that bulb is going to be meant to have your ring finger go right up against the end, and your pinky will hinge over the ball. And then from there, you'll just play with this a little bit, back and forth, from hand to hand, getting comfortable with this grip. It's a little awkward at first, that's fine. You'll find that you want to grip it like a baseball bat. That's fine, just keep adjusting it so that ring finger is against the base and your pinky is hooked over the edge, and your grip is strong enough to not drop the bell, but light enough that you're not creating any tension. So once you feel comfortable with that, we'll go over what does a home position or beginning position look like. So home position, you'll grab a hold of the club, ring finger against the base, pinky hooked over, opposite hand on your hip, slightly pulling your shoulders back, standing nice and tall. And then here, you'll just want to check in, run your hand up your forearm, and make sure you're not running into the back of your hand, right? We want a nice, straight, or neutral wrist. And then if you're in a square room, it's always good to kind of stand so there's a wall in front of you, a wall behind you, and a wall to each side. That way you have a vantage point on where you want your club to sit in space. So I like to have the club at home position parallel to the wall in front of me and the wall behind me. All right. So it's a great tool to kind of go over your posture. So we're going to begin the movement by just bringing the arm across our chest, back and forth. So you're just trying to make sure that you're hinging at the elbow, that you're not trying to manipulate the club with your wrist or with your hand. And then once the club starts to go past vertical, it'll tip and you'll catch it with your finger. And at this point, you want to make sure it's pointing to the wall to your side or the wall adjacent to you, and that your wrist is still straight. So from there, we're going to start to paint a circle around our body. And once our hand crosses the midline, there should be a natural point where your hand wants to automatically turn open, and then we'll go back across and it should turn closed. Open, close. So from there, we're just going to bring the arm up a little bit higher, and then right back down. So the whole time you're just trying to keep the club on the same plane or same track throughout. So then as you're going, you can allow the arm to go higher and higher. It's a good movement because the club only weighs 1 pound, so you can manipulate it at each point where you can slow the motion down or you can speed the motion up. Now, the point of this is supposed to be to get rid of tension and to help you relax. So a good idea is to incorporate your breath into the motion. So when you're here, you'll take a breath in, nice falling breath. Just allow your arm to fall and gravity to guide your hand right back to home. And then we'll do the same thing again. And back. So if you want to learn a little bit more about the Indian Club, you can check out a couple of resources, a few of them being Phil Scarito or Deviate Fitness on Instagram, or you can check out Dr. Ed Thomas on YouTube at Via Militaris.